You know, when we were young, they always ask us this question: what do you want to be in future? But I stopped asking my kids that question. The question I ask my children is, what impacts do you want to make? I said, because life is meaningless if every single day there is life that you can touch in a positive way. Now, how many minutes do I have to keep? Please count. And the human they say you spend a lot of money on all around this that future education. Some will cost money. It will so discouraged, so easy to overwhelm, and not because you are weak. So it's important that you build systems that protect your mind. It's important to see that the way you keep out of stress. Personally, I have two things that keep me out of stress. I read or I walk. When I'm very stressed, I put on my sport shoes and I walk. Or I just retreat, I put on everything and I read a book. It is extremely important. You have to destroy people. I've been there. I am a no, I shouldn't say I'm a failed entrepreneur because I don't believe in the word failure. I believe that
You can ask the questions in the comment section, guys.
I'm a learning entrepreneur. I have dabbled in entrepreneurship and oh my God, I respect, I seriously respect. For you entrepreneurs, you know, sure that they will get something.
They will get building.
Right? So build systems. Have a routine. Have a reflection.
Comments.
Create boundaries. That's the least thing that is going. I see that is because learning to relate to help you build confidence, to help you fear, and to help shadow confidence. One aside that, you got anything good you can read from your phone. This morning I made that crazy. I think I'm OUS and you hand whatsoever, and I'm like, one will never get to use.
That's my day. The way you're talking at midnight. Even the phone is for business. It's not as if you're just
exercise.
Who has ordered for what?
Move your but I come to realize that the older I got, I had to learn more healthy habits. So have a routine. Talk to yourself, talk to God, build an exercise routine. And anything that makes you feel comfortable and that makes you get ready for the day. And finally, then mistakes. I know we have
know how to find a balance between, I love both so much. So I don't know how to find it. Sometimes I want to attend to the other, sometimes I have to, miss out on clothes because maybe my job is important and need to attend to one or two. Balance between these two. I know it's possible for me to handle the two, but I just want to find out how can I find a balance.
My question I want to ask is, how do you delegate in a way that we trust?
Can I buy it?
That's the problem I have with my business, trusting your workers.
Thank you for your question, Stacey. I think that in everything in life, we have to learn how to do a cost-benefits analysis, right? And you need to be able to ask yourself, I have 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week. What is it that pays me more? What is it I can put my focus on? What is the time that I know that I can reasonably be able to invest in my business? And if I think that my business is actually productive and impactful enough, is it time for me to maybe find an assistant that I can train? Because the thing too is, if you're doing a business alone, which solely depends on you, and you have to be moving back and forth, then you might not be able to give it your all and scale it the way you want to. So I want to think it's for you to take that time and see, put the pros and the cons, and ask yourself. Sometimes you can realize that the business you have on the side actually pays you more, or has the potential to pay you more than the job that you have. And then you might say, okay, maybe I'd rather leave the job and focus on this. Or you might realize that the business is taking away from your time, which if you invested more in your job, it will give you more room for growth. So maybe you reduce that time, put somebody else that you know can handle the business, and you check in with them from time to time. But just sit down and do your pros and cons and your cost benefit analysis. That would be my advice.
Thank you. Do we have any other question? In the hall, please just signal, and the mic will be brought to you. So let's change tables a little.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm Milen Zamo. I'm actually a healthcare esthetician. I deal with supplements. So the question I really wanted to ask, I've been having this doubt in me, can you be successful working under a brand? Can you really be successful? Because I feel like I always have this perspective that if you're not a CEO of a particular thing, if you're not a boss of your own, you can't really succeed with that particular business. I've been working for, I don't know if you know about Forever. It's an American company made up of a lot of. So I've been with this brand for like 10 years. And it's literally of recent that I realized that I'm really making money. Yeah, so I've been having this doubt that can I be successful with this brand? Because I'm not a founder of the brand, but I work under the brand. I'm the CEO of my space. But I have people under me, but I'm not the CEO of the brand. So can I be successful without being the founder of the brand?
Okay, an interesting question. You can be successful back to purpose. Not everybody is meant to be the founder. If everybody was the founder, who would do the work? Right? But what to you? For some people, success is recognition. That's what will bring the fulfillment even more than the money. That's what will give the validation. What the success means to you.
Being happy.
If for you success is money and you can make money without being a founder, then what's the problem?
They don't make money.
Somebody who is an administrator somewhere is earning more than them. So you get my point. So ask yourself, are you happy where you are? Do you think you're making impact where you are? Are you impacting lives with the products? If that is okay for you, then that is fine. Because when you understand your purpose in life, you should be comfortable enough to know you must not lead every time. Personally, I say I am not a leader. I call myself a bridge. I know that something God has put in me is that I can bridge people, I can bridge systems, I can bridge platforms. And I am very comfortable in that space. I'm very comfortable working in the background and pushing, because remember, even God said, was it to write down the vision.
Yeah,
right? So that people may run with it. You may have a vision, but you're not the one who will run. Angie has a store. She cannot attend to 10,000 clients at the same time. So she might even hire an esthetician who is more skilled than she is. But that person will be pushing her business forward. She has somebody who works in her place who, when I call, I'm like, is it Rose? It's Rose there. So Rose is not the founder, but Rose is adding value to her brand. You get it? So what is the value you're adding to that brand? And what is the impact that you are using that brand to make in your community?
We had another question behind here.
Hello everyone, good morning. I am Dr. James Butty. I am a mental doctor, parenting coach, and the founder of CEO of Think and Play. When I read thank you so much for your wonderful keynote. I really enjoyed it. When I read your profile, I was really intrigued by your entrepreneurial ventures and everything that you do, and I was really looking forward to hearing more about your entrepreneurial ventures. And you mentioned that we don't fail, we learn. And I love that too. But I'd like to know, from your experience being an entrepreneur, what are some of the lessons, the biggest lessons that you learned as an entrepreneur, especially in the area of things you tried that didn't quite work out, that we can learn and grow from?
Excellent. Thank you. One of my biggest learnings and why I went back to corporate world, because I've given myself 5 years to leave the corporate world. But I had things I had to learn. I had to learn about accountability, and I had to learn about governance. Because I started a business and I realized that I was taking decisions without any governance, without anybody holding me accountable, and without really knowing enough about it. So I am learning now a lot about how to put the right structures and systems in place. Because if you have a business without the structure and the system, then the business will rely only on you. And the day that you are not there. Another thing I've learned is control, to put time to break even. For some businesses, it might take even 3 years to break even, or even 5 years. You just have to learn to put the systems to be consistent. Okay? Personally, I have a lot of ideas. In a minute, I'll talk about system. That's what I've learned a lot. Let's build a system about it. Let's build a structure. And let's see if this thing can actually work. Because sometimes things sound very good in your head, but if you don't have somebody you can trust, who can ground you and put you down and say, let's put this to paper. Okay? Yes, I did. I have even scaled some really well, but one of my biggest issues was consistency. Consistency simply because I didn't have the right info, I didn't have the right systems, and I refused to be accountable. When I say refused, I mean I just was not accountable enough. But when you have an accountability partner, in companies, the accountability that is accountability to the board of directors. Because when you put the board meeting, you're supposed to say, this is the investment we gave you. How did you spend it? What's the revenue that has come out of it? You want more money, you want more investment. How is it that you're going to scale in the next year? What will be the bottom line? What will be my money as investment? So I'm learning all of these things as I go. But systems in place, yes. Those are the learnings that I've been.
So we are going to take one last question before we move to the next item.
Good morning. My name is Antoinette Nopo. I am the Women's Development Strategist and the founder of Intentional Money. So I've been following you since 2019, and I've read a lot of things that you write, and I'm very blessed to have you here today. So I have two questions. First, we are in a wealth and wellness, that's our thing, but resilience is celebrated in our culture, like a lot, and especially with women. But how do we draw the line between resilience and silence burnout? What are the early signs to identify when someone is beginning to get burned out and they are, just masking it with work? That's the first question. The second question is, in our context, success often comes with lots of responsibilities, family, and expectations. How should an entrepreneur set healthy boundaries to protect their mental health and their strength while remaining, culturally responsible? Thank you.
Okay. Let me start with the easier question, the second one. Because that first one I was saying, I also want to learn about it. I think boundaries is all about communication. It's extremely important to communicate to people. Many of us like to act rich and look rich. When you act and look rich,
that's why I made us tell me now this youth
people
will
also
get
say
want to get rich.
you are rich, right?
Because you see,
And they also increase their expectations. It's important
it'll make you feel like
that,
the work you're doing is not
especially in
enough.
Africa, Africans are extremely entitled.
Yes, a lot.
Ghanaians are very entitled.
A lot.
People think they're entitled to your money, they're entitled to your time and stuff. Some people are soft. They don't know how to say no. You have to learn how to say no. You have to learn how to communicate to people and tell them. Okay. My budget for this month.
I've learned to say no. Say no.
I can help you give you something next month. But this is what I can do.
And I say no because
I mean, I have an uncle. He writes to me. He calls me and says, Madam Accountant, please, next month I will need 50,000. I'm like, okay, thank you very much.
so has exhausted my energy, so I don't have
I
energy to
budget
spend
for
on something
everything.
that is not.
I budget
I
for
don't. I
everything.
literally
in
don't.
my sheet.
So
I put in my expenditure before
when
the
I want
money
to say no,
comes.
it's very easy. Because I don't have
So,
energy.
if you were not
Honestly,
factored in that month,
That's why I
I tell
exhausted my
you,
energy for the
water
first
cannot
time.
come
I'm
from
compromising
school.
my energy. I don't think.
Even if my parents know, my mom, my dad is late, but my parents, I used to give them an allowance. That is the allowance that we have. There's something extra, because you know our parents can be tricky. They will bring things, but they know that this is what they will expect for the month. Communicate it. Communicate to them, let everybody know their expectations, let everybody know what you can do. Dress well and do everything, but firmly tell people, no, I cannot do this. No, I cannot do this contribution. I am very sorry because I have this to do. For me, it's communication. The first one was about resilience and burnout. Signs of burnout. I think a medical person.
And when you want to be like that, they'll remind you that you have money.
I can only share from my own experience.
They'll remind you that you have money.
For me,
I've
when
blocked
I
every
start
family
down
member for my statuses. No family members.
when I start, yes,
Yes.
when I start
Because when you
feeling a
post
little bit
something,
depressed
you know they have, when you post
or
it back, you know they have less
demotivated,
stuff.
then I know that
Yeah.
there is something
But I
wrong
saw your status.
and I take it back. And we need to be able to understand our triggers. To be able to know what triggers you, what is it that is causing this, and be able to pull back a little bit. Yes. So, anything that is going to bring you discomfort and is going to decrease your productivity level. But some people can actually be on burnout and still be very productive, and then one day they just crash, right? Yes. So, sincerely, I'll leave that question for the medical person. But I want to learn myself. Okay. All right.
Thank you so much. Begging, she actually, she's just what that question was like, exceptionally. Okay, we hope you have time for this.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
This is the last question, please.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, good afternoon. It's exactly midday. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Madam Mutanda, for the brilliant keynote. My question, looking at your profile, by the way, I see you're a finance professional, and we have a wall full of entrepreneurs. I'm here in a double capacity as a banker and an entrepreneur. So I'd like to hear from you, and I guess a couple others who would like to hear from you. What do you think is the role of banking or accountability in entrepreneurship? How do you, let me just go a little further. How do you think the banks can come in to help entrepreneurs? How do you think entrepreneurs can scale their businesses by banking? Thank you.
Okay. You know, when Ange called me for this, I asked her what are the expectations. Okay. Because yes, I am a certified chartered accountant, but the theme that she gave me today was, of course, how to get sustainable, strong entrepreneurs. But I'll answer that question. Entrepreneurs cannot survive without money. And to be able to invest in them. And the banks also need them because money brings forth money. Unfortunately, Cameroon, that is not really happening the way we would hope. It's not really the fault of the banks, because I think the banks do have the risk appetite. But the problem is you have a lot of little informal businesses. How many of us are actually registered? How many of us have our businesses registered? Then there is going to a bank to ask for money. The bank wants to see clear patterns. You have been very profitable. They want to see that you have been consistent and that you are able to give them the returns if they give you their money. And that you understand your business, because there are times that will be down. If I take Sparkle, for example, I'm sure from November to towards the end of March, April, you see those trends. If you go and bring the bank steady income, they will know exactly that you're lying. Because they'll say this is an aesthetics business. We know that these are the trends. These are the peak figures. Exactly. So, entrepreneurs need to first of all get finance. I used to be, I had worked worked with the government as the finance advisory for agro-processors, right? Because the World Bank was sponsoring a project. I forget the name. They were sponsoring a project, but they realized that they had sponsored entrepreneurs before, and it didn't yield anything. Because the thing is, if you give money to somebody who does not understand how money works, some people, you give them 1 million. They don't understand that out of that 1 million, you have overheads. You have to install, and maybe out of that 1 million, the profit you're making is 50,000. But some people think that 1 million is first. Yes, go and buy, I don't know, come back for 100,000 or something and say I'm a contractor.
Yeah.
Those days,
Right now, I'm not
yeah,
profit.
see somebody who has money, they say you're a contractor. So I think that the banking sector is extremely important because entrepreneurs, they need the funding. They have the ideas, they have the potential to push growth for our community, but they don't have the funding. But the problem is you cannot fund somebody who is financially illiterate and somebody who you will not be able to follow up and make sure you get your money back. Because remember that the money that is in banks is not their money. It is our money.
Taking from A to B.
So what happens is I save money in the bank from trade, and majority of these people will not come and ask for their money tomorrow. Let me take this money and lend it out to others.
And make interest.
And make money on it. They lend the money to you and you don't pay back. And trust me, Cameroonians don't like to pay debts. We have like who are taking loans abroad.
Today he cannot come to Cameroon.
Extremely bad. One of the things that should define you as an entrepreneur should be your integrity. I totally forgot to say that. If you do not have integrity, it will be very difficult to succeed at anything in life. Because even the banks, when the banks want to give a loan, even to companies, they look at the head of the corporation. They look at your CV. This person, is this an integrous person? Because you can as well still have a CFO who does not pay back the banks. No. If it's a CFO, okay, I'm talking a little more. If it's a CFO who has a reputation for not managing resources properly, the bank really wants to try for society. I think that they should be able to host conferences like this, train and educate entrepreneurs. Yes, and then give them an accountability program in place where they make sure that they follow these entrepreneurs to pay back money.
Thank you so much for that beautiful presentation. We have here our business growth advocate and business advocate. A lot of protocol. So we are going to have a game, and which will be followed by so before that, we're going to just
You taste it, you tell me.
third question.
leadership, environment, and neighborhood.
No, that's not it. The three arms of Lean Asker.
Business promotion and empowerment. Business promotion and empowerment.
Very close. Very, very close. Work.
Educative, charity, and marketing.
Please put your hands together. Put your hands together. What is your answer? Yes.
Educative charity.
Doesn't know what is gift. Okay.
Educative charity and what? Networking. Market.
So,
She said marketing.
Marketing.
Marketing is networking.
the fourth one. Launch her first business.
I sparkle. I was on Chimex page. I think it's 26. That was the same year I started.
I love that lady down there.
20.
You have the answer, right?
No, yeah. It's still like that.
Not the time.
2015.
No.
So it's 16. Oh, 2015. Yes. No, I watched that interview when she started her business. An interview.
Work when we had the
No.
work when we had the
No.
It's nice this game. I had all of your attention here. This is beautiful. Fifth question.
When I went from did you hear the way she was asking about what see she came here now, she wasn't accountability.
By Mr. Dima of Human Coffee.
Kitchen.
So, Dima, please.
Kitchen towels.
Dima loves to very well Shakala. Oh my. So Dima,
You are to keep one. I wanted to keep
and after that, after his presentation, we have when you stand to leave for breakfast, the person will have the photo session. Then now.
I gave you the right thing. You are no sorry. Who is our next speaker? Yes, the person has a brand. Oh, he's the next speaker.
Good morning.
He wants to talk about this morning.
I know it's past
There's
12,
not a
I
time
have
to speak, they just want to
everyone
introduce.
good morning, because when I tell you
But he's
good
one
morning,
of the
I'm
speakers.
wishing you a
He's
fresh
one of the
start,
speakers.
the fresh beginning. So what I expect from you is for you to smile and respond good morning.
Let me
Good
get
morning.
back. Good morning.
Now turn to the person next to you and say good morning. Good morning. If the person is not smiling and is suspect, turn to the person. I want to see those people not brush their mouth now. Good morning.
And coffee now make our mouth to be brown, our teeth to be brown, cannot smile.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So we're going to.
Good morning, mommy.
We had that last year. All right. So please, can we move this way? Camera people, if you have to be this way. Yes. Capture the whole.
They're blocking us. Blocking our view.
So how many of you know how it goes? How many of you were here last year? If you were here last year, raise your hand. Okay. When I say lean,
Just feel
that's not what I'm expecting to hear. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to say, but that's not how you're supposed to say it. So can we do it again? Lean Africa! I think we should have taken coffee first.
I know, right?
We will not be able to smile.
Could you use me some of that coffee?
Our teeth will be brown.
Can you use me some of that?
All right, but let's do this way. So, you have to, now, all media people this way, please.
Oh my God.
So all of us are like this. And I think we can, some people can come here in the middle so that we don't block anybody. But please, I will need everyone to actively engage in this. So once the media people are ready, should we rehearse? Can we do that? Lean Africa! Please, I'm seeing a lot of ladies in the house. Both of you are, if you were out there now, I'm going to see you.
They are soft, please. Don't
so
shout.
I need to get that energy. Lean Africa! All right, so let's run there on our feet.